guys, today I'm here with an e.l.f. haul. They did 50% off recently and I cannot resist when e.l.f. does 50% off, even though it's already quite affordable to begin with, but it's just that much sweeter when I get a discount. And yes, my hair looks completely different right now. You're probably shocked. You're like, is that even Samantha? I know. It literally feels like I'm wearing a wig, and I absolutely love my curls. I have been loving embracing my curls, but it's also really fun to mix it up. So my stylist and hair guru, Shelly Ann at Michael Cluthe Salon, she's the best. If you live in the GTA, please go see her no matter the hair type you have. She's changed my life. But anyways, she did a really beautiful blowout on my hair, which is not something I do very often. And when I've gotten blowouts in the past, they leave my hair looking so flat and it just looks so weird because I'm used to like so much volume. Anyways, I was kind of feeling myself, I'm not gonna lie. So I figured I would film a video and document my hair looking this good because I could never do this on my own. Let's go ahead and get started. They seem to have brought back some of their more cheap items, I guess, like the $1, $2 things, which is really exciting. So I picked up a blush and a bronzer, and these are actually quite deep. So I feel like if you have deep skin, these could be a really good option for you. And they were only $2 each, which is amazing. I haven't had a ton of time. I'm just trying to open them here and keep talking. I haven't had a ton of time to play around with these, but they do look really beautiful. So I have the blush in the shade Brick Red, which I actually don't have really anything like this in my collection. I think it can make a beautiful eyeshadow as well. And then the bronzer in the shade Deep. And they had 3 bronzers in this line, I think, and 2 of them were shimmery. The only one that was matte was this really, really deep shade, and then this blush seems to be completely matte. And then also from that line, I decided to pick up 2 of their highlighters, splurging, and these aren't exactly highlighters. I'm a little bit curious. I'm going to need to read up on these because they said that they were highlighters. This one is in the shade Glow. This one is in the shade Shy, and they're not highlights. They're like powders. This one has a little bit of like a shimmeriness to it, but this one is just basically like a blush, but it is a pretty shade if you do have a bit of a lighter skin tone. It's a little bubblegummy pink for me. This I may be able to use under my eyes, so I'm gonna need to play with these a little bit more, but overall these powders do seem really nice for just $2 each, and the packaging is actually really cute too. It's just kind of clear. While we're chatting highlighters, I actually bought a couple different highlighters because I'm always on the hunt for new, good, affordable highlights. So they recently released these holographic duos, which I was so curious about, especially this one. It's in the shade Siren's Call, and it appealed to me because a lot of the holographic duos or just highlighters in general, you've heard me say this before, but they're always like blue, green, cool tone purple, and that just does not play well with my skin. So when I saw that this one was yellow and orange, I was super intrigued by it. And then they actually, they sent me 2 of the other, well actually they sent me all 3 shades, but I had purchased this one from e.l.f. before. So I thought I'd mention them just to show you the shades. They also have Blue Lagoon, which is a little bit more of a kind of purpley and blue. And then they also have, or kind of like a blue-green. And then they also have Mermaid's Tail, which is a little bit more pink and purple. So it seems like there's a shade in there for everybody. The lighter shades seem like they may not be the best for my skin tone. I haven't actually put them on my cheeks yet. This duo is quite nice, the orange and yellow, but again, it doesn't have as much reflect as I would like, but they are pretty shades, and if you've been looking for like a more affordable kind of interesting highlight shade, this may be one to try, and these were $8 each. Then the last highlighters that I picked up are part of their single highlight line, and I have purchased these before, but they've done kind of a shade extension. So I picked up the shade Island Glow, which I thought was really unique. It has kind of like this pinky coralness to it, and then another one in the shade Sunset Glow, which is just kind of more of like a typical goldy champagne. These aren't my favorite. Again, they just don't have as much reflect as I would like. They're borderline chalky, but they are pretty. I think if you use a little Fix Plus or some kind of spray, or even just a spray of water, these could be a little bit better. The texture is nice. It's creamy. Some of them are a little bit stiff though, so with some e.l.f. products, it's good to either take a spoolie or kind of like rub your finger along the top just to get rid of that outer layer. So these were $6 each, and they're good, but they're not like blowing me away because the drugstore has totally stepped up their game when it comes to highlights. So my standards are a little bit higher than they once were with kind of more affordable highlights. They recently released some color correcting sticks, and I don't know how recently these are actually because my past, I think, 2 e.l.f. orders, I've tried to put this in my cart, and for whatever reason, I've like checked out and forgotten about it, so I finally remembered. It's the color correcting stick. This one is the one for deep skin tones, and it's kind of just like a deep orange, and it actually looks like it's going to be pretty good for deeper skin tones. And then they also have this one, which is the Flawless Color Correcting Pen. Again, the orange shade for kind of deeper skin, so they seem to do about the same thing. I like a stick for something like, that's my cat, for something like on the face, because it seems to stick a little bit better and adhere to the skin. And then something like this in a pen style that's a little bit more creamy. I like under the eyes because I don't love using kind of stick things under the eyes. So I'll have to test these out a little bit more and report back. But I do have a drugstore orange correctors video, which I will link to down below if you're looking for some more affordable options. I picked up their Ultra Precise Brow Pencil. I was really excited to see this in here because I love their eyebrow definer, which I've talked about before, but it's a little bit of a thicker pencil than something like an Anastasia Brow Wiz. This seems more like it's trying to be the Brow Wiz, and you're getting a nice little spoolie on there. I think it comes in 3 shades and it's $5, which is awesome. Because for brow products, for me, I'm having a hard time justifying paying a high-end price for brow products because the drugstore has done such a good job coming out with these micro style pencils. And again, I have a drugstore eyebrow pencils video down below, so I'll link that down below. But anyways, this I'm not totally sure about. It feels incredibly dry. I may have just gotten a bad one, but when I initially went to swatch this on my hand, it did kind of crack. I had to be a little bit more careful, kind of get it to warm up on my hand. That may not necessarily be a bad thing, because in general I do like a bit of a drier formula because I don't like anything too creamy on my brows. It gets messy. This seems like it could be really good to draw in some super precise brow hair. So again, I'm gonna need to play around with this some more. This is kind of just like an initial look at what I got. So if there's anything you're more curious to hear about, or if you'd like to see like a full face of new e.l.f. stuff or something like that, be sure to let me know, because I did an e.l.f. week last year and I'd be happy to do it again because it was tons of fun. I've been so into mists lately, but the majority of the ones that I use are kind of more on the hydrating side, which works sometimes when I'm using a more matte foundation, or if I'm not wearing makeup at all, or if I'm using it as a part of my skincare routine. Brew? Sorry, my cat like just woke up and she's like decided to sing the song of her people. Anyways, I decided to pick up the Oil Control Primer Mist, which is just a clear mist. And in looking at the ingredients in here, it actually looks like it might be quite good. It's got niacinamide in here, which is something that I've been using on my skin recently, which has been said to help with pores and kind of tightening your pores a little bit. Then it also has things in it like cucumber, coffee, but it isn't oil-free. I noticed that there is some hydrogenated castor oil in here, which I don't think is necessarily bad. Oils can be good for oily skin, which I've mentioned before. So it also comes in, I think, a hydrating mist as well. And I bought the e.l.f. hydrating gel mist before, which I don't know why I bought it. Again, I'm just like super into mists and it was affordable, so I threw it in my cart. I did not like that. It didn't really make any sense, but this seems like it might be a little bit more promising and just a really easy way to kind of spritz on your skin before you apply foundation, even if it is going to be something super matte, just to help get things kind of moving along. Or you can finish your makeup off with this as well. Something else that really intrigued me in the way of makeup prep is the e.l.f. obviously Lock On Face Primer, and I saw Kathleen Lights mention this, and I find a lot of the e.l.f. primers that are available, none of them really appeal to me for whatever reason. For the majority, they're all kind of color correcting, which to me, color correcting primers seem like, I don't know, they just seem like they're essentially clear and they're not really going to do anything for me. A lot of them are kind of hydrating, so this sounded really interesting. It says that it's a makeup gripper while hydrates your skin and refreshing it, and it has a gel-like texture, so it may actually be good for oily skin. And as I said before, I'm not sure that primers really do much for my skin. They never seem to do a whole lot, but she was talking about how this really reminded her of like maybe a Sicily primer or something that was really expensive in the way of tackiness. And I haven't played around a lot with super tacky primers, more so with things that are either mattifying or smoothing. So maybe this will do a good job to help keep my makeup staying on longer, not necessarily with controlling oil. So I'm really excited to try this. I've got high hopes, and I think this was like $6 or $8. I finally picked up the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. This is in the shade Caramel, which is previously Almond. It seems like it's going to be a pretty good match for me. They've actually extended the range, which is awesome to see. I'm always so happy to see any brand extend the range. This is $6, comes in a really nice kind of glass pump bottle. You are only getting 0.68 fluid ounces in here though, which the average foundation has a full fluid ounce, so that's something to keep in mind. But either way, it's still for the most part cheaper than the majority of foundations that are out there. Not sure how good this is going to be for oily skin. Let me know if you have tried this, or if you'd like to see an oily skin diaries. Perhaps I'll do an e.l.f. week with like a full face of e.l.f. and a new best of e.l.f. and an oily skin diaries on this foundation. Let me know what you think. Every time I place an order from e.l.f. or ColourPop, it seems like I either forget an item or accidentally buy a double of an item, and this time I actually outdid myself. I bought 3 of these, and I was like, are you kidding me? It's the Beautifully Bare Lightweight Concealer Stick in Deep, and I purchased this because I thought it might make a good cream contour because I've been so into cream contour lately, and all of the affordable options I've tried have been blowing me away. So I thought if this was creamy enough, because it is part of their Beautifully Bare line, it's a little bit lighter, I may be able to give this a try. I've also given, if you're curious, I've given one of them to my boyfriend's coworker, who is actually a subscriber, if you're watching, hey, and my stylist, so we'll see what they think about it. But I thought it might make a good option for contour. If you're ever looking for a contour powder or contour, like a cream contour, be sure to check just like your regular face powders and concealer products, because they're going on your face anyways. It's up to you where you want to put it, so it's a good option to kind of like expand the range and potentially find a good cheap option. So the last item I picked up I thought could be a potential dupe or a similar kind of alternative to the Kat Von D brightening powder. I don't know if you remember, but like last year I think she came out with these like little pots of loose powder, and I was really excited about those because I love her contour kit, and I think it's good. It's not as good as the contour kit, but anyways, I thought that this might be similar. It's the e.l.f., why do I keep saying that, Correct and Set Eye Powder, and this is in the shade Banana, and it says it's weightless, color correcting, and it's good for baking and a smooth finish under the eyes, which sounds amazing. And I'm always on the hunt for a good under eye powder. I'm super picky and almost never satisfied with the way my under eyes look. There's like maybe 1 day out of 10 I'm like, okay, these look fine. So I'm always looking for something nice that's actually brightening and has a little bit of pigment under the eyes. I really like the way that that looks, so hopefully this will be a good option, and this does come in a few different shades. I hope you enjoyed this haul. Sorry that I haven't had the chance to actually try out a lot of those products and I'm just kind of talking my way through, but I do love a good traditional haul sometimes, and I will be happy to fill you guys in on what's been going on with those products. If you'd like an update or an e.l.f. week, whatever it may be, just be sure to let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!